Hi, welcome to Avi's Kosher Kitchen. I'm your chef and host, Avi, and I've got another great kosher quickie for you. Today, we are going to make a wonderfully Asian-inspired green bean dish with sesame seeds, sesame oil, and a little surprise at the end. We're going to first start with our pan, and we want to boil some water in here. Now, you know, when you put the water on the burner and you wait for it to boil, it never happens, right? Because a watch pot never boils. So here's what I do. I've got my little electronic tea kettle. Boil the water in there first, and now watch this. It's pretty hot. We pour it right into the pan, okay? You can see the steam coming off of this already because this water is hot. Now we turn our heat on, and that's going to come up to a boil pretty quick. I'm going to take some sea salt right in here, and a lot of salt. We want the salty flavor of the water to get right into the beans, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're not going to salt the beans separately. The water is going to provide that. Let it boil a little bit quicker. Just put our lid on there, and you're going to see that's going to come up to a boil. Now, what we're going to do with these beans, they're going to come in here. We're going to blanch them for 2-3 minutes. Get them just a little bit soft, but we don't want to get them to the point where they're getting really soft and all like that. We just don't want them so hard and snappy as they are now. Now, our water is pretty much boiling. We're going to take our green beans. They go right into here. Okay, all of them. Very nice. Take our cover, right back on. And now they go 2, 3, 4 minutes, and we're going to be ready for the next step. Okay, so now it's been about 2-3 minutes. Our beans are nice. They're still crisp. You can see they have a beautiful green color. If we leave them in there any longer, that green color is going to start to fade. We don't want that. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn off the heat very quickly. I've got a bowl of ice water. You've seen this trick a million times if you've watched any kosher or any cooking show. Forget a kosher cooking show because, you know, there are no other kosher cooking shows but me, right? All right, there's a couple more, and they're pretty good. But they're not me. Anyway, we're going to take these, put them in here. This stops that cooking right away. Just using my tongs, because if I use my hands, my fingers would get burnt and I'd be yelling and screaming, and you guys would be going, why is he doing that? So take our pan, put it aside. We're gonna let these beans just get cool, put them aside. And now I have right here, my little friends, my bourbon infused maple glazed pecans that we made in another kosher quickie. You can check out the web link. I'm going to take a few of these, put them on my board, take my knife, and we're just going to chop these up. Okay, and these are really, really nice. These are maple glazed, but before we did that, we put a little bit of bourbon in them in a hot pan, and it just made a really nice flavor with a little cracked black pepper on there. And this is going to make a really great complement to these. So we put these aside. Okay, I've got my beans, which are pretty much cooled off from the ice water. I've got my bowl. Take our tongs once again, and a little bit of ice. We don't want the ice. We just want the beans. These go in here. Get out of there. And these have already cooled down. So that's how quickly this works, okay? By the way, if you get an ice cube in there, a little bit of water, I won't tell anybody. And you don't have to tell anybody. And nobody has to know, okay? So don't worry. This is not rocket science. This is cooking. Have fun with it. Okay, so now we've got our beans. They look good. They're nice and cold. I've got a little bit of tamari here. This is tamari, which is like soy sauce, and in it, I've put about equal parts of tamari and sesame oil and a few sesame seeds, and we're going to just drizzle this on top. Okay, nice and drizzle. Now, that's going to provide a beautiful flavor to that. I've got a little bit more of that salt. We're just a little bit of the salt to just kick up a little bit of that saltiness, because we've got these beautiful glazed pecans that are going to go right on top. And let me tell you, these glazed pecans on top, so there we go. A wonderful recipe, one of my favorites. Great accompaniment to all sorts of meats, or just on their own. Green beans infused with an Asian-inspired tamari and sesame oil sauce, and then of course our great bourbon-infused maple glazed pecans on top. Wonderful dish. So until next time, I'm Avi, l'chaim.